And she has raised three beautiful children. She worked for the government of Canada for 30 years, Natural Resources Canada. She also had time to teach at University of Houston and be a research assistant at NASA. She's been a wonderful friend and a wonderful partner to me. And today, providing us with more information about her inner GPS and wisdom is Anne. So welcome, Anne.
Well, good morning, beautiful souls. I'm so glad to see you all today. And I'd like to start by asking you a simple question. Have you ever been lost? Yeah, maybe it was in a new city, a new job, or even looking for your car in one of those crowded parking lots, right? We've all been there. But here's the twist. In every single one of us, there is an inner GPS, a divine wisdom that guides us to the right place at the right time. And that GPS does not need a map and it does not require Wi Fi. It is always on, always accurate, and always available. This is the power of wisdom. So today, we're going to explore how this wisdom is always within us, how it is our spiritual superpower, and how we can tap into it, right? So we've had people talk about wisdom in the past, and even in the lovely prayer of Mary today, she said we need to tap into it. So today I'd like to talk about how can we tap into that power of wisdom and make decisions, navigate the twists and turns of life, and even have a little fun along the way. But first, let's us be clear as to what wisdom really is. Divine wisdom is not just knowledge. Knowledge is the stored information we have accumulated in our intellect based on experience and study. Wisdom is not just about being book smart or knowing a lot of facts. Wisdom is not about having a PhD. It's not about having all the answers or pretending we've got it all figured out. No, wisdom is the divine insight that resides within each one of us. And according to James chapter 3, verses 17, this wisdom is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. Isn't that the type of wisdom that you can trust? In unity, we believe that God is within us. Well, that means that divine wisdom is within us too. It's that still small voice that whispers guidance when we are uncertain. Divine wisdom is our intuition. The intuition that helps us know the right next step, even when the path ahead is unclear. Reverend Linda Martellowitz is well known in Unity. She is an author and she has led Silent Unity for many years. In her book, Divine Audacity, she writes, intuition is our aha and oh power. And moment by moment, we have access to our internal guidance system. So, see, the power of wisdom is our inner GPS. And in Proverbs chapter 2, verses 6, it says, for the Lord gives wisdom. And in James chapter 1, verses 5 is written, if any of you is lacking in wisdom, ask God who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given you. So see, wisdom isn't something we have to earn or search for. It is a divine gift that is waiting for us to receive it. And here's the exciting part. This wisdom is already within us, ready to guide us every day, every moment. It is our spiritual superpower. Now, let's take a moment and think about how this wisdom shows up in our lives. Sometimes it's subtle. It might feel like a quiet nudge, a gut feeling, or even a sense of peace in the midst of chaos. Sometimes wisdom can show up as a bold, clear thought that makes you say, "Ha, that's it. I know what to do now." And at other times, it may be a loud voice telling you to do something, especially when you had not been paying attention. So, can you think of such times in your life? To illustrate some of these ways wisdom shows up, I will use three scenario settings: decision making, relationship, and everyday moments. Decision making. Have you ever faced a big decision, like whether to take a new job or move to a new city, and felt unsure of what to do? Well, in these cases, wisdom is your inner guide helping you make the best choice. It's that feeling of clarity you get when you finally stop second guessing, been there, and trust that inner knowing. And for decision making, you can always ask your highest wisdom yes and no questions, as long as you know what a yes and a no is like for you. So, for me, I'm more of a visual person than a feeling person. And so I asked my highest wisdom what would be a no and a yes answer so I would be able to recognize it. And to do so, I thought of colors. So I brought a bunch of colored pens in front of me. I mixed them all up. I had like 24 or over 24. And I closed my eyes and I mixed them all up more. And then I asked my highest wisdom to guide my right hand and pick the color that would represent a yes for me. And then I asked my highest wisdom to guide my left hand and I mixed them a little bit more. And then I asked to guide it to pick the color that would be a no answer. And trust me, I love purples and pinks and blues and yellows, and I had all these colors in there. But when I looked, yes answer is green, and a no answer is red. That's simple, right? So you may try that yourself, but having yes and no questions is easier to receive a clear answer sometimes. So wisdom also shows up in how we connect with others in our relationships. Ever been in a conversation where the words just flow and you know exactly how to offer support or share what's on your heart? Well, that's wisdom at work, guiding you to speak truth with love, to listen deeply, and to know what's needed in the moment. As Jesus, our way shower, did. See the gift of wisdom as a spiritual judgment and learn to judge with right judgment and to rely on inner spiritual knowing. Finally, and wisdom doesn't just show up in the big decisions. It's there in the little things too, the everyday moments. It's the calm you feel when you take a deep breath before reacting to something stressful. It's the guidance you receive when you trust your intuition about what's best for you in the moment. You know, like that little voice that tells you to slow down when you're driving on the road and suddenly a deer jumps in front of you and you were driving slow enough to be able to react in time. So that is the type of wisdom that's there for you, guiding you. Reverend Eric Butterworth, huh? That's another name, right? A very well known unity minister, author, and speaker. In his book, In the Flow of Life, he writes, divine guidance is not prejudiced. It does not come with one fixed or unalterable step to be taken. Divine guidance can never lead you to take a step that is beyond your ability to understand or rightly use. So you can trust your power of wisdom. It will never fail you. and it will always direct you for your highest good. Wisdom is about being open to receiving the guidance that is always there. When you are in alignment with your highest good, wisdom is right there with you, pointing the way. So, okay, now we know that wisdom is within us. It's always available. We can trust it, and it will never fail us. But how do we tap into it? How do we activate our inner GPS? Well, here are four simple steps to begin tuning into the wisdom that's always guiding you. Be still and listen. Trust your intuition. Ask for guidance. And be patient and trust the process. Wisdom often speaks in a quiet voice. So take a moment to be quiet, to quiet your mind, to be still and listen. That's the first step. And by the way, that was the daily word, quiet, right? Meditation or even just a few deep breaths can help you tap into that stillness where wisdom thrives. Ask a question, then sit in silence and listen for the answer. And trust that guidance will come. As Myrtle Fillmore, co founder of Unity, said in her book, How to Let God Help You, in the silence, wisdom is given for every need. Have you ever had a hunch about something? Maybe you felt you needed to call someone, or you knew a certain decision was right even before you had all the details. Well, that's intuition in action. Honor it. Trust your intuition. That's the second step. Trust your gut, the one that says, this does not feel right, or this feels like the perfect opportunity. That's wisdom trying to get your attention. When you trust your inner knowing, you'll be amazed at how often it leads you to exactly where you need to be. And again, in his book, In the Flow of Life, Reverend Eric Butterworth writes, you are a window of God through which the light may shine. When you get yourself out of the way, you may experience the effusion of light flowing forth as wisdom and guidance and creativity. So to me, this means you may have to tell your intellect to hush. I certainly do. So you may hear your inner voice. And wisdom loves to ask for help, to be asked for help. So whenever you're facing a challenge or need clarity, say, wisdom, show me the way. Ask for guidance. That's that third step I was talking about. You may not get an answer right away, but stay open. The wisdom will find its way to you, whether through a feeling, an idea, or even someone else's word. One day at work, I was faced with a situation requiring the signature of my supervisor. And I knew he was away for the week. This was a Monday morning, and I knew he was away in training in another part of town, and there was no way I would be able to see him. I was a bit desperate because I really wanted this form to be signed. It was important for me. And so I remember asking for help, going, what am I going to do? And then I had this nudge telling me, get up and go see your mentor. My cubicle at the time was facing the staircase. And so there was not that much people passing back and forth because the elevators were somewhere else. So I got up, went around, and as I was facing the main aisle to get to my mentor's cubicle, who's right there in front of me in the middle of the aisle is my supervisor, Bob. So I go, Bob, what are you doing here? He said, well, there was a mishap with the contract with my training, so I had to come in. I'm just here for a few minutes getting this resolved, and I'm going. If I did not get up at that moment when that nudge was given to me, I would not have known that Bob was in the building because his cubicle was totally different place than mine and nobody pass in front of me. So I would not have known he was there. I would not have gotten that signature, and I would not have been on my way to better things. So trust, do ask for guidance, and be open to receive an answer in any shape or form, even if it doesn't look like the answer that you should get, and be ready to follow the guidance. And finally, that fourth step, be patient and trust the process. Sometimes wisdom doesn't come in a rush, it comes in layers over time. So be patient with yourself. Trust that you are always being guided, even if it takes a little time for the full picture to reveal itself, or it takes time for all the players to be in play. So let me recap these four steps. Be still and listen. Trust your intuition, ask for guidance, and be patient and trust the process. Have no doubt, each and every one of us have the power of wisdom within us. We each have a higher self. It may seem like some people have a better ability to connect with their inner voice and their wisdom. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't. You may have just to work a little more on that. And you can use these four simple steps that I just provided to start with, or you may even want to consider taking some intuition development courses. There, some of them are available online. I know that for myself, I was more in tune with my intuition before my adulthood. I think that becoming a scientist may have led me to use my intellect more and rely on my mind and my analytical skills rather than going within and asking myself for guidance or just trusting my intuition like I had been doing before. Thanks to my wife and to Unity, over the last few years, I've been reacquainting myself with my intuition. Like I told you, I've gotten to know what the colors for a yes and a no answer are, but I am taking a wonderful intuitive development course online. And that's where I got that trick about asking for the colors and other things. So it has been very helpful for me. So if you need to work on your connection with your highest wisdom, don't be ashamed about it. It's normal for a lot of us. And here's a fun thought. Wisdom doesn't always have to be serious. In fact, sometimes the wisest thing you can do is to have a little fun. After all, joy is part of wisdom. When you take time to laugh, play, and enjoy the beauty around you, you are tapping into the wisdom of life itself. Maya Angelou. You may know this name. She was a wise and well known personality who was a member of Unity. Well, she said, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. And she also said, laugh, laugh as much as possible, always laugh. It's the sweetest thing one can do for oneself and for one's fellow human beings. So do have a little fun. Activities like painting, writing, music, or dance can be a form of spiritual expression that allows you to connect with your higher self. Spend an hour alone doing something that nourishes you or that you are passionate about and feel that connection to your highest wisdom. And maybe reading, a hobby, visiting a museum or a gallery, listening or dancing to your favorite music, just name it. And give yourself permission to enjoy the process. Laugh when things get silly and celebrate the little victories along the way. Wisdom is not about being stiff or overly serious. It's about flowing with life and trusting that we are being guided in every moment. So now I'm going to give you, or not give you, I'm going to invite you to take three simple steps to activate your divine wisdom this week. Pause and reflect, trust your gut, and have some fun. Take a moment each day to pause and reflect. Spend time in quiet reflection, meditation, or deep breathing exercises to connect with your inner self and find peace. Just this wonderful prayer that Mary gave us today, that was a perfect moment for that. Whether it's a minute of silence in the morning or a quiet moment at night, use that time to connect with your inner wisdom and ask yourself, what is the next right step for me? Or any other question, and listen for the answer. Listen to your inner voice. Second thing, trust your gut. This week, when you feel that intuitive nudge, whether it's about a decision, big or small, or a relationship, trust it. Trust your gut. Your inner wisdom is your spiritual guide, and it will always lead you toward your highest good. It will never direct you to hurt yourself or someone else. And finally, the third thing I'm asking you to do is have some fun. Wisdom doesn't have to be serious. Allow yourself to have fun. Let go of stress and enjoy the journey of life. One way to do that is turn off your phone. I know it's hard, but turn off your phone and tell people you'll be away so that they don't stress over the fact that you're not responding to them, right? And then do something new in your own town or put on a song that speaks to you and sing aloud along to it, feeling each moment. Wisdom loves joy, so embrace both wisdom and joy as you navigate your week. You might even want to test your yes and no answer in a fun way for yourself. Maybe how does it feel in your body, or how does it show up in colors or any other way? But you can have some fun with that. So remember, pause and reflect, trust your gut, and have some fun. In conclusion, give thanks for the infinite wisdom that flows through you and guides your life. Acknowledge that wisdom is always available to you, leading you in every moment, every choice, and every path. Choose to listen, to trust, and to embrace the wisdom that is already within you. And may we walk confidently with joy in our hearts, knowing that we are divinely guided. And I would like for us to join in a affirmation together. I am open. I'll say it once and then we can, oh, actually I have it up. Cheryl will share it for us online. That would be great. So please join me in saying this affirmation. I am open to the wisdom within me. I trust my inner guidance, and I know that divine wisdom is always leading me to peace, clarity, and joy. Blessings, wisdom, and joy to each of you. Go forth and enjoy the journey. And now I'd like to guide you into a gentle meditation. So please be seated comfortably or wherever be positioned as you comfortable as you can be. And close your eyes or lower your gaze and breathe in and out deeply, allowing yourself to relax each muscle in your body. Do a quick scan of your body, releasing any tension or ache you may find. And bring your attention to your breath, breathing in and out, gently and slowly, allowing your mind to clear and release all thoughts. If any thoughts arise, just say the word thought and return to following your breath. Begin focusing attention at your solar plexus. Shine a yellow light like the midday sun through the region of your solar plexus. Affirm, I bathe my solar plexus and the area around it with the brilliance of divine wisdom. I bathe my solar plexus and the area around it with the brilliance of divine wisdom. Never worry about knowing the right thing to do. Call on your divine wisdom. You can engage with it anytime you want. Affirm, I do not judge by appearances, but by right judgment. I do not judge by appearances, but by right judgment. Everything you need to know is within you. Divine wisdom is your spiritual name in nature. You can trust it. Affirm, I do not rush to conclusions, but discern the way to go. I do not rush to conclusions, but discern the way to go. Trust and follow your inner voice of wisdom. Your power of wisdom is always present and active in your body, mind, heart, and spirit. Affirm, I am the divine power of wisdom. I am wise. I am the divine power of wisdom. I am wise. Now, spread the yellow sunlight of wisdom throughout your body, penetrating your skin and radiating out into the world like sunlight streaming over the earth. Continue to follow your breath and bring your awareness slowly back to the room. Give thanks for which has occurred in this meditation time. Wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers, and ever so gently and ever so slowly, let light come to your eyes as you gently open your eyelids, not focusing, letting light come until your eyes are open, but not focused. And finally, open your eyes and focus gently on the world around you, bringing your meditation to a close. Thank you. Be well.